Well, with more on the ongoing unrest here in France and lots more as well. James Creedon's here with Media Watch. Good to see you, James. As we've been reporting, it's been a few weeks now, that international football tournament now less than 2 weeks away. That is not good news if the public transport system isn't working properly. Lots of visitors, of course, expected here in France. What have you been looking at?
All right, well, a lot of headlines talking about that, the fact that this strike action could indeed affect the Euro 2016 championship in France. French transport to be hit ahead of Euro 2016. So since the government decided to use the controversial 49.3 mechanism of the Constitution to...
Forcing the law through.
Forcing the labour law reform, it has raised the tensions, I suppose, and strikers are kind of digging their heels in to a certain extent. And I suppose they probably see with this Euro 2016 championship a means of putting added pressure on the government, because obviously a big international championship, you don't want it to be coming to a halt, people not being able to get from A to B. It could really affect things. As this headline in Le Monde puts it, ahead of Euro 2016, the storm clouds are gathering, and of course that is also literally,
like they've gathered, haven't
literally
they? Now they're
true.
pouring down on us.
Unbelievable. I mean, the weather for the past month is breaking all sorts of records in terms of rain and even lightning strikes. It's just been extraordinary. So a certain degree of concern about that. Le Monde saying that it's not just the strike action, it's also a concern about security. So this Euro 2016 is...
We're in a state of emergency, aren't we?
Still, since last November. So
a lot of pressure on the police.
That's right. So another incident just in relation to all the social tensions that we've been seeing that gathered a bit of attention over the weekend. The economy minister, Emmanuel Macron, he had a bit of a tiff with a CGT union member, and the TV cameras were there, and it was about who was blockading the country.
Happen?
I don't know. Anyway, he used an unfortunate expression to this guy here who was wearing a T-shirt. The minister said, "Well, if you want to be able to buy a suit, you have to get a job." So in any case, it's just not the most media friendly sentence, because it becomes a meme and then you become the target of jokes.
I remember Nicolas Sarkozy saying worse things than that.
Well, this is it. But then you become, a symbol of the elite.
The suit-wearing, powerful elite.
This is it. And nowhere in the world will that work better than in France in terms of the potential to strike back. Now, you even had his cabinet minister, Jean-Marie Le Guen, who had to come out in public and try to defend the comment, because it did create, over the weekend, a lot of fun. And of course, there's a lot of...
it's saying get a job, basically, in a country where unemployment stands at 10%.
That's right.
That's what it comes down
to.
So
then he had Margaret Thatcher appearing on T-shirts. And people you see then were designing...
That's not Margaret Thatcher.
It's Margaret Thatcher mixed with Emmanuel Macron.
Ah, right, I see. Oh, you love those, don't you?
It's the guy who does the blends.
So,
and what else do we have? There's also a T-shirt with various different... Yeah, I'm being kind of spiteful or whatever. So it didn't work out so well.
Okay. Those public meetings,
that's right.
They never
He is
turn
being
out well,
provided with a T-shirt.
Strikes, transport problems, horrible weather. Paris, though, still a very nice place to live, isn't it?
Well, according to one index, it's still got the best work-life balance in the world. This is an article in The Independent, which is... Now, a lot of this has to do with time off, essentially. And if you go down through all of these various cities, apparently Paris, you have the most amount of time to take advantage of the city if it isn't in lockdown and if the weather isn't appalling.
What is the number one place to live?
Paris.
Oh, Paris is number one.
You're
sorry.
Here. You don't have to go anywhere.
Right, excellent. Good news.
Sorry.
Who else is in the top three?
You have Paris, and then Lyon.
And then
Moscow.
And then go on.
What do you have above that? You have Helsinki.
Oh, far too cold. Vienna.
Vienna, not too bad, and Milan. There you go. So it's
interesting.
This is they seem all to be European. Luxembourg. Quality of life.
Where's London?
Work-life balance. It's not there. Not in the top 13.
All right, we're running out of time.
Working hard in London.
A concept in China. First they were racist, now they're sexist.
Well, this is it. There was a very controversial ad last week. The company has since apologised, by the way, for that ad where they featured a black man going into a washing machine and coming out white.
Yeah.
It created an international
Pretty
storm.
unambiguous, that one.
The company in question, it's a detergent company, have apologised. This week, another controversy comes from China. They've created female-only parking spaces. Now, this isn't across the country. Let's not get out of control in terms of... It's at one place called the Tonglu Service Area. It's on a highway in China's southeast. And the guy who was in charge of that thought, look, I've observed... women parking badly. This was his observation. And he said, in order to, what was the word he used? It's part of a set of measures where we've introduced to humanise the service area. So the parking spaces are 50% bigger to facilitate
women who can't
female drivers reversing. And obviously online, people are saying that's completely and utterly sexist.
Okay, no comment. All right, James, thanks very much indeed. James Creedon there with Media Watch.